Hi, it's Amy Simpson from Breathe, Believe, Achieve, and I wanted to talk about the intention of anxiety. So, anxiety, for anybody that experiences anxiety, experiences panic, they are very scary, very horrible ways to feel, and we forget that sometimes actually that anxiety, that panic, the body's programmed to keep us safe. It's absolute priority is to make sure that you're okay. So that panic, that anxiety response comes from a belief that in some way that we're unsafe, or that there's a threat or a danger or something that we need to be alert to and we need to get away from. So actually that anxiety has a really positive intention. Its intention is to keep us safe. But often what we find is if that anxiety has been there for a very long time, even just any kind of physical symptom of that anxiety, anyway, when we begin to notice it, we associate that with being unsafe. And we start to we fight against it. So we try and we become very angry with our anxiety. We become angry at feeling that way. We become scared of feeling that way, overwhelmed by feeling anxiety. And one of the things I ask people to consider sometimes, if that anxiety, if its actual intention is there to keep you safe, so if it believes that it's helping, it believes that it's keeping you safe by stopping you doing something, then what if you were just to kind of reframe how you think about it? So what if you were to recognise when that anxiety appears, that for whatever reason there has been something in the mind that has triggered that response, and the body, in order to care for you and to keep you safe, believes it needs to kind of spur you into action. It needs to get you to do something. It needs to get you to run away from whatever that is, or it's flooding your muscles with all of this fresh blood supply so that you can be strong and fight off whatever that danger is. So rather than feeling scared when that feeling happens in the body, is recognise that actually your body believes it's helping. Your body believes it's doing something to keep you safe. So rather than almost locking horns with it and trying to push it away and kid on that it's not there, because all it's going to do is come back even stronger, because it thinks that you're really not safe and you're not even listening to me, because you could try to pretend that I'm not here. If instead that we acknowledge, okay, so this anxiety is here. It's here because it believes, for whatever reason, it feels it right in this moment, right now, that I am not safe, and I have to do something. But if you're able to know, well, actually, I'm safe. There's nothing happening just now. I'm perfectly well. I'm doing something that's, it's not even something new. I know it's something that's really routine. It's something that I've done lots of times. It might be like going to work. It's recognising, so how do I help that anxiety realise that I'm okay? If I was to almost treat it with a bit more kind of kindness and compassion, how could I respond to that differently? And one of the things that we can do is, rather than trying to be scared of it, is just to see it as this emotion that actually completely has your back. It's there to support you. So in recognising that it's there, how do we kind of work with it rather than working against it? So a couple of things that really help with anxiety is that we can choose to see it with this sense of kindness around, actually it's only trying to help, it's only trying to keep us safe. So rather, the anxiety's gone into panic mode. I haven't gone into panic mode, the anxiety has. So I am gonna be in control of this, and I'm gonna help that anxiety to signal to my anxiety it's okay, it can kind of back off, because actually right now we are safe. And a couple of things that we can do is is the minute that we recognise that it's trying to help, we don't respond in that sense of being scared, because when we feel that anxiety and it triggers a sense of feeling scared, all we do is we layer another layer of why the body needs to help us, because we're definitely not safe, because this anxiety was here and now we're confirming that we're not safe. So it's just going to keep ramping up and ramping up. But whereas when we kind of acknowledge it and acknowledge actually we are safe, but I'm going to help take back control and help anxiety just back off a little bit. Again, it falls back to simple things that we can do. We can get up and move, because one of the things that we all tend to do, particularly when we've had things like anxiety for a long period of time, we are very acutely aware of all of the symptoms. So we are very acutely aware anytime we begin to get a niggle, like a bit of a pressure headache, or we're aware of a tightness in our chest, or we're aware of that sicky feeling in our stomach. We are so acutely attuned to it that maybe somebody who hadn't experienced anxiety in the same way that we do wouldn't even really notice. They would kind of think, oh, maybe I've got a bit of a sore head, I might go and get a glass of water. Maybe I've just not had a drink. They wouldn't read anything else into that symptom. So one of the things that we can do is we can help just turn that down by like the couple think, moving the body. And I know I always say about moving the body, but when we are going inwards and we're really observing what's happening in the body, we tend to go really quiet and we sit really still. All of our focus is completely internal into that chatter in the mind, but also internally to what the body's doing. So we want to, rather than the focus being inwards, we want to help the focus come outwards, and we want to kind of recognise, right, okay, so I'm going to move. It comes back to some of the mindful techniques that I've spoken about. We might choose to get up and go and walk to the window and just take a moment, just take a couple of breaths. We might begin to notice, like, so what can I see right now? Because again, we're distracting the mind away from being inside the body, noticing every single detail, every minute detail of what's happening. And we're instead bringing it right here into this moment to maybe notice, all right, this is what I can see, this is what I can hear, this is what I can smell. These are the things right in front of me that I can touch. I can feel my feet on the floor, I can feel my breath coming through the body. And all we've done there is we've flipped that focus, and we've brought the body back in to that sense of, rather than running away with a panic about what could possibly be wrong, which is often about not right now, it's about just in the future. We've brought it right now, and we're helping it see that we're safe right now. And we're treating it with as almost like a bit of a friend who's trying to help us out, not in a very helpful way, but their intention is good. So I hope that helps.